This week on Women in Sports, celebrating a silver anniversary on the ice, how the Icettes are marking the major milestone. Then an epic comeback in the girls basketball playoffs, see who pulled off the stunning win. And later, a gold medalist sets a prestigious record for the Gopher women's hockey program, how the win propelled her into historic standings.
WCCO's Women in Sports, sponsored by Franson Bank and Trust.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Marielle Mohs, and here at WCCO, we are celebrating the highlights of female athletes in this digital segment called Women in Sports. We'll share new stories with you every week right here as we do our part to give these athletes the recognition they deserve. Well, right now, runners are signing up for the Twin Cities' biggest race weekend. Racers started claiming their spot for this fall's Medtronic Twin Cities Marathon events. It takes place the first weekend of October. Events include the marathon, of course, but also the 10-mile race and a 10 and 5K. If you're interested, you can still grab a bib on the Twin Cities In Motion website. Well, the girls section basketball tournaments are well underway. We know that Section 8 has a lot of talent, and recently two 20-plus win teams met in the semifinals. It was Brainerd at Elk River for the matchup. Brainerd, the number 4 seed, took the lead at half. Elk River pushed back hard, making it a great game to watch. Eventually, though, Elk River comes back to win it by 2, final score 63-61. The fans were dancing in Champlin recently. The Rebels were the home team favorite, but Mounds View had other ideas. The Mustangs took over and pulled off a mild upset. Mounds View takes the win with a final score of 85-69. Then in Section 2, we saw a big school semifinal. Minnetonka hosted Prior Lake, who took on a strong lead, but the home team fought back hard. Tonka slowly erased a 14-point halftime deficit and avoided the upset. They happily take the win with a final score of 61-59. And in the Section 6 4A semifinal, Hopkins blew St. Louis Park out of the water. The defending champs dominant yet again. Hopkins wins 92-31. Basically making it a tradition at this point. The Royals are set to play Wayzata in the section final. And Hill Murray has the number 1 seed in their section in girls basketball. They're hoping to make a state tournament appearance for the first time since 2011. I had the chance to sit down with 2 sisters on the team who are leading the pack. There's an unspoken connection on the court for sisters Maya and Ashley Wilson.
Just always knowing where we are on the court. Literally, if she's behind me, I'll know where she is.
That bond began early.
I feel like 3 years old, probably. I mean, I remember her playing in a dress at my brother's AAU practices when we were little, and so it's just been so fun seeing her grow so much.
Playing for their high school is the first time they've actually been teammates. The two help lead Hill Murray in scoring, assists, and rebounds. Older sister Maya, a junior, averaging 26 points per game. Ashley, only in 8th grade, averaging 20 points a game. But their head coach, Betty Truhl, says they bring more than just strong stats to this program.
The culture that they've been bringing, they get a lot of kids involved, they pick people up, they give high fives. And I think when you're talented and you do that, you're showing signs of being a really, really special player, special sister duo as well.
Coach Truhl says Maya is hard to stop when driving to the hoop, and that Ashley is a consistent shooter around the arc. The Pioneers have never won a state title in girls basketball and have not been to the tournament since 2011. The Wilson sisters hoping that changes this year, but they'll have to get through a tough opponent first.
I'd say De La Salle, because last year we lost to them to go to state, so that's going to be a great game. We're both great teams.
So I'm just really excited to kind of see how far we go, and just obviously while playing next to my sister and best friends.
Now to college ball, where we saw a regular season finale for Gopher women's hoops in Illinois. The U is doing work in the paint. Amaya Battle, as the third quarter ended, finds a way to score. Minnesota led by as much as 15, but got sloppy late. Illinois actually tied it at one point, but kept committing fouls. Minnesota does go on to win this 78-73. The Gophers now, they get a double bye in the Big Ten tournament this week as the 4 seed. Well, the only school district-sponsored figure skating club in the state recently marked a major milestone. Hear how the Icettes are celebrating half a century. Something special is being carved into the history books at Apple Valley's high school ice rink.
This is a team that's been together for 50 years and I'm part of that. It's been really cool just thinking about it.
50 seasons of the Icettes, a figure skating team made up of 42 students across 5 different high school and middle schools within District 196. It's the first of its kind in the state.
I would have thought like Minnesota ice skating, there'd be like some more, but yeah, it's pretty surprising that it's just us.
Seniors Kirthana Rajulapati and Mia Doherty would love to see more school districts mimic the Icettes in the future.
I feel like it'd be really cool if there were other districts or high schools that also had skating teams, because it'd be really fun to like compete against or see at other rinks.
The Icettes still get to compete, but only against other independent clubs. While they're not a state high school sanctioned sport, District 196 pours resources into this team, which has led to 5 decades of success, and the skaters pour back into it. Head coach Carrie Nightingale is a Rosemont High School and Icettes alum who has been leading this team for 11 years.
For me, that was like a great way to be a part of the high school, place to belong, those kinds of things. And then as a coach, to be able to like offer that to other students to have such a unique experience is fabulous.
The Icettes have a no-cut policy, so every skater who wants to be part of this team can be, which grows the diversity of this sport.
We have the type of place where like anybody could come and be like, that could be me one day.
This weekend is their 50th anniversary showcase. The final show is on Saturday afternoon, with all ticket sales going directly back to the club. Well, the Gopher women's hockey team entered the playoffs on a losing streak and unfortunately continued it into overtime, losing to St. Cloud State to start the first round of the conference playoffs. That meant Game 2 was winner exit the WCHA tournament. We saw a goal early in the first on a redirect, and then the moment we've been waiting for in the second. Abby Murphy winds up and blasts in her record-setting 140th goal. Now, no other Gopher has more goals than her in program history. And at the end of the day, Minnesota outshot the Huskies. Gophers score on the power play, and Minnesota takes the win 4-1 in Game 2. Gophers also went on to win the third decisive game as well and play in the WCHA Final Faceoff this weekend. Well, coming off a gold medal win, the Minnesota Frost players are back on U.S. soil and practicing and ready for their next PWHL games. But after both men's and women's USA hockey teams won gold, the men's team received a call from President Trump inviting them to the White House. The president then made a so-called joke about having to invite the women's team as well so he wouldn't get impeached, to which many of the men's players laughed. The women's team declined the invitation. At a recent Frost practice, we caught up with them to see how they felt about it.
We did receive the invite and just weren't able to go. I think we are feeling the love and support, even if that looks a little different.
I think the story has shifted a little bit to about decisions made after the fact, but I think I'd love to flip it back onto what we did on the ice over there and the dominant performances that we had.
The Minnesota Frost players said they and their teammates had to get back to their respective teams. They added that they're excited about the increased attention on women's sports. The team traveled to Montreal to take on the Victoire last week. Unfortunately, not a lot of bright spots in their first game back from the Olympic break. The Frost would give up 2 goals in the first period and then another 2 goals in the third period. No goals of their own either, as Montreal got the shutout. Final score of the game, 4-0. They'll be back in Canada to take on the Toronto Scepters this Sunday. Puck drop is set for 11 a.m. We also want to take a moment to celebrate the USA women's hockey captain, Hilary Knight. The veteran led her squad to victory in Milan. She scored the goal that tied Canada in the final before the U.S. won in overtime. It's Knight's 2nd gold medal and 5th overall. She now holds the record for most goals and points in U.S. women's hockey history. She told CBS This Morning, these achievements have been a lifetime in the making.
You know, I was 5 years old. I wanted to be an Olympian. I wanted to win a gold medal. And
at 5?
Yeah,
you did.
I'm dialed a little differently, I guess. You know?
Wow.
But no, to realize those dreams, to do it with the group that we had, it's just been such an incredible ride.
Knight is 36 years old. She didn't rule out one last Olympic pursuit. That would be 4 years from now. That'd be incredible. We also want to let you know about the Let's Play Hockey Expo coming up. If you're not familiar, it is the world's largest hockey show, and it's just around the corner. WCCO's Reg Chapman and Adam Del Rosso caught up with organizers to learn more.
Tell us, what is Let's Play Hockey Expo all about?
So it's, from my understanding, one of the largest consumer hockey events and expos in the world. There's over 100 different vendors coming out. They've got all the new products for this year and new merchandise and that sort of thing. So fun for people to come out in between the the hockey games, just to be able to hang out and see what it's all about.
With like both women and men winning, there's a lot of excitement around hockey right now, and especially with the girls' state tournament just finishing up and now the boys' state tournament starting, like it's a big month for hockey people.
Obviously, we're holding some hockey sticks. We've got some mini nets here. Shall we play? What's the goal here?
Yeah, so you're just trying to sauce the puck into...
Sauce the puck? What is saucing the...
Like...
Are we safe right here?
I don't know.
Yeah, you need a mask.
I mean, 6 to 12 inches off the ground into the net.
Okay. I needed a little demo here so that way I know. You're the pro here.
She's a pro.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, there's no way in the... I mean, you can do this, Adam. You can do it, buddy. Handling.
Yep.
Yeah! I hit the ramp, but you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah, it counts.
I'm not surprised Adam got that in. He's an athlete. Let's Play Hockey Expo is happening this weekend, March 6th through the 7th at the St. Paul River Center. It's $5 for those 19 and older, and anyone 18 under is free. Well, new episodes of the WCCO Women in Sports podcast are out right now. I recently caught up with Quinn Kuntz, a decorated college hockey goalie who played for both Ohio State and the University of Wisconsin. Her success is built on sacrifice. Her family moved from North Dakota to Warroad, Minnesota to give Quinn a shot at a hockey career. And that career was nothing short of a Cinderella story. She helped her 2 teams win 3 national championship titles, her last one for Wisconsin.
Everything just kind of built up through the year to that moment again, and it was super special. It was in Minnesota, so my entire family was there, and yeah, it was just so cool, like seeing them behind the glass and accomplishing that.
And the success doesn't stop there. Quinn told me about her life as a goalie coach now, social media influencer, and most recently, a Twin Cities coffee shop connoisseur. I also caught up with McAteer, who is the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey Association. She grew up in Canada, eventually finding her way to Duluth. After years of playing and coaching, she landed a spot very few ever reach. And she says it was not because she was the top player of the UMD Bulldogs.
I honestly didn't even think that I was going to have a career in sports, because there was just such few opportunities. It was either you were a national team player or that was it. So there wasn't much to really dream about.
More on McAteer's impressive career and details on the WCHA Final Faceoff that she is leading, where several college women's hockey teams are fighting to be the conference champion. That's happening this weekend. Catch both of those conversations in our latest episodes on the Women in Sports podcast. You'll find them wherever you get your podcasts. Well, thanks for watching this week's show. I'm Marielle Mohs. We'll be back with more great stories next week.